An ETF, or Exchange Traded Fund, is a fund aimed at mimicking the performance of a particular market or sector. It typically tracks indices like Dow Jones, S&P 500, and NASDAQ 100. Shares of ETFs are traded on major stock exchanges. ETFs can be traded whenever the market is open, just like common stocks. When you purchase shares of an ETF, you are purchasing shares of a portfolio that tracks the return of a specific index. Shareholders of an ETF do not directly own the underlying assets of the fund. Instead, they indirectly own the assets. Shareholders of an ETF are entitled to a proportion of the profits, such as dividends or interests. The main difference between ETFs and something like a mutual fund is that ETFs do not aim at outperforming the corresponding indices. They rather mimic the performance of market indices. The investment style of ETFs is passive management. The fund manager only makes minor changes periodically in order to keep the fund in line with its corresponding index. Passive management is an advantage of ETFs in terms of cost efficiency because it incurs fewer administration costs than actively managed funds. In addition, empirical studies find that actively managed funds actually do not outperform their index benchmarks. The usage of ETFs is getting more and more popular nowadays. Since 1993, when an ETF was firstly introduced, the total assets managed by ETFs in the U.S. has reached $2.15 trillion by 2015. One of the most widely known and traded ETFs is called SPDR, SPDR, which tracks S&P 500 index. The DIA tracks the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, the QQQ tracks the NASDAQ 100, and IWM tracks the Russell 2000 Index.